Imagine this. You're walking across your living room to answer the phone when suddenly your knees buckle. You grab for the armrest of the chair, but before you know it, you're on the floor, breathless, heart racing, and wondering how such a simple step could end so badly. Falls like these are among the greatest fears for people over 60. They're not just accidents, they're signals. Your muscles, once strong enough to carry you upstairs and through long days of work, are quietly eroding. And here's the frightening part. This decline often has nothing to do with laziness, lack of exercise, or even disease. Instead, it's rooted in something most seniors overlook: protein intake. As a physician specializing in senior health, I've seen countless patients who thought their daily meals were good enough. Many relied on toast fruit or a small bowl of rice as their staples. They believed they were eating light and healthy, avoiding fats and heavy meats. But in reality, their muscles were starving. Over time, this silent deficit leads to sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that robs independence and raises fall risk. Here's the unexpected truth. The foods you may think of as sufficient bread crackers, even a small salad, do little to maintain muscle once you're past 60. Your body's protein needs actually increase with age because digestion and absorption slow down. Without the right kinds of protein, your legs weaken, your grip softens, and everyday tasks from carrying groceries to rising from a chair become battles. Let me tell you about Mr. Howard, a 72-year-old retired postal worker I treated not long ago. For most of his life, he was strong, walking miles each day on his route. But after retiring, he cut back his meals, thinking smaller portions and fewer meats would keep him lean. Breakfast was often coffee and toast, lunch a light soup, dinner a little rice and vegetables. Over the years, his weight didn't change much, but his body did. His arms grew thinner, his legs weaker, and one morning as he bent to tie his shoes, he toppled sideways, fracturing his hip. When I asked about his diet, he said, "Doctor, I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't know my muscles were starving." Medically, here's what was happening. After 60, the body experiences what we call anabolic resistance. It's the reduced ability of your muscles to respond to protein. Whereas a younger person might build muscle with 15 to 20 grams of protein, seniors often need 25 to 30 grams at a meal just to achieve the same effect. Without it, muscle repair slows tissue, breaks down faster, and strength disappears little by little. That's why Mr. Howard's steady diet of starches left him vulnerable, even though he never considered himself malnourished. The reality is harsh, but empowering. If you don't deliberately choose protein-rich foods every single day, your body won't get what it needs to maintain independence. This is not about bodybuilding. It's about being able to lift a grandchild, climb a staircase, or walk without fear. So the question becomes what proteins truly matter. Not all sources are equal. Some are packed with essential amino acids like leucine, which directly stimulate muscle repair. Others come with added benefits, fighting inflammation, supporting bones, or stabilizing blood sugar. And some of these foods are so ordinary you might overlook them completely. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Today I'm going to walk you through 9 powerful protein sources that can save your muscles from decline. And the first one might already be sitting in your refrigerator, an everyday food you probably eat, but never realized held the key to protecting your strength. When I mention protein, many people immediately think of steak or chicken. But one of the most powerful muscle-saving foods is far simpler, cheaper, and probably sitting in your kitchen right now: the egg. For decades, eggs were unfairly vilified for their cholesterol content. Seniors were often told to avoid them, fearing harm to the heart. Yet today, research shows that eggs are one of the most complete and accessible protein sources you can eat, especially if you're over 60 and fighting muscle decline. Here's why eggs are rich in leucine, a branched-chain amino acid that plays a direct role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis. This is the process your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle fibers after they break down. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to small amounts of protein, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. That means you need higher quality protein sources to wake up your muscle tissue and encourage repair. Just 2 large eggs can provide about 12 grams of protein with a leucine punch strong enough to kickstart this rebuilding process. Let me share the story of Mrs. Patterson, a 68-year-old retired teacher who came to see me after struggling with weakness in her legs. She told me, "Doctor, I used to walk 3 miles every morning with my friend, but lately I can barely finish 1 block without needing to sit down." Her breakfast most mornings consisted of oatmeal with a sprinkle of fruit. Healthy, yes, but not for her muscles. Oatmeal provides fiber and some nutrients, but almost no protein. Over time, her body was pulling from her own muscles just to maintain daily functions. I suggested something simple: add 2 boiled eggs to her breakfast along with her oatmeal. At first, she was skeptical. I thought eggs were bad for my heart, she said. But within weeks of making the switch, she reported that her energy improved, her walking distance increased, and she felt more steady on her feet. What changed? The eggs supplied leucine and complete protein, fueling her muscles at a time of day when she needed them most. Now here's an important mainstream fact. Muscle loss begins as early as your 40s, and by 60, you may already be losing up to 3% of your muscle mass each year if you're not careful. Combine that with slower digestion, and your body needs better, not just more protein to keep up. That's why eggs are so valuable. They digest efficiently, they're affordable, and they can be prepared in countless ways: scrambled, boiled, poached, or as part of a hearty vegetable omelet. But there's another hidden benefit many seniors overlook. Eggs are rich in choline, a nutrient that supports brain health and nerve function. Strong nerves are essential for muscle contraction and coordination. This means that each egg isn't just feeding your muscle fibers, it's supporting the entire system that allows those muscles to function. In other words, eating eggs helps protect both strength and balance, 2 critical factors in fall prevention. Of course, moderation matters. For most seniors without advanced heart disease, 1 to 2 eggs per day is considered safe and beneficial. Pair them with vegetables or whole grains and you've got a muscle-protecting meal that fuels your day without spiking blood sugar. So, the next time you're planning breakfast, remember Mrs. Patterson's story. A small change: 2 eggs instead of none helped her reclaim her walks and her confidence. It's proof that the right proteins in the right amounts can be life-changing. And if eggs surprised you, wait until you hear about the next protein source, one that comes from the sea and delivers not only strength, but powerful anti-inflammatory effects that aging muscles desperately need. When we think about foods that protect our muscles, most people imagine protein shakes or lean meats. But one of the strongest allies in fighting age-related muscle decline actually swims in the ocean. I'm talking about fish, specifically salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fish aren't just high in protein. They're also packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which have a profound effect on muscle preservation and recovery. Why is this so important for seniors? As you age, low-grade inflammation slowly creeps into your muscles and joints. Doctors call this inflammaging. It's a silent process that breaks down muscle fibers, stiffens connective tissue, and weakens your ability to bounce back from even mild exertion. Omega-3 fatty acids directly combat this process. They lower inflammation, improve blood flow to your muscles, and even enhance the way your body uses protein for repair. In fact, studies show that older adults who combine omega-3s with resistance exercise gain more strength than those who exercise without them. Let me introduce you to Mr. Raymond, a 66-year-old retired carpenter. He came into my office complaining of persistent soreness after simple activities like gardening or walking his dog. "It feels like my muscles just don't recover anymore," he said. When we looked at his diet, it was almost entirely land-based. Red meat, bread, potatoes, and very little seafood. I explained that while he was getting some protein, he was missing the anti-inflammatory support that fatty fish provide. We made a plan. Twice a week, he replaced his usual dinner of pork or beef with baked salmon or canned sardines on whole-grain crackers. The change was dramatic. Within 2 months, he reported not only less soreness, but also better endurance. He was able to return to light woodworking in his garage, a hobby he thought he'd lost forever. "I didn't realize something as simple as fish could make me feel younger," he admitted with a smile. Here's the mainstream medical fact. Seniors often lose muscle mass at a rate of up to 3% per year after 60. Add to that the slower healing process, and every bit of nutritional support matters. Protein builds, but inflammation destroys. That's why combining high-quality protein with omega-3s is such a powerful strategy. And here's the deeper detail. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA found in fatty fish, don't just fight inflammation. They also enhance the cellular signaling that tells your muscles how to use the amino acids you eat. In simpler terms, when you eat fish, you're not only feeding your muscles, you're teaching them how to repair themselves more efficiently. For those who don't like the taste of fish, alternatives like fish oil supplements exist, but whole food sources are always preferable. Canned sardines or mackerel are inexpensive and easy to prepare, making them an accessible option for seniors on fixed incomes. Pairing fish with vegetables or whole grains creates a balanced, muscle-friendly meal that supports both strength and heart health. Mr. Raymond's story is just one example of how the right proteins combined with anti-inflammatory nutrients can restore vitality. His ability to return to woodworking wasn't just about muscle, it was about reclaiming independence and joy. Now, if fish can do this much, imagine what happens when you add a food that not only feeds your muscles, but also supports your gut health, digestion, and long-term strength. That surprising protein source is probably already in your refrigerator, and it comes in a creamy, versatile form you may not have considered. Greek yogurt may not seem like a powerhouse food at first glance. Many people think of it as just a snack or something to mix with fruit. But for seniors, it can be a secret weapon against muscle decline. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained, which means it has nearly double the protein content. A single cup provides around 15 to 20 grams of high-quality protein, enough to meaningfully support your daily muscle needs. Why is this so critical? As we age, digestion and nutrient absorption become less efficient. Many seniors complain of bloating or discomfort when eating heavy meats, making it difficult to get enough protein from traditional sources. Greek yogurt is gentle on the stomach, easy to eat, and most importantly contains all the essential amino acids your body requires to rebuild and maintain muscle. But there's more. Greek yogurt also contains probiotics, beneficial bacteria that support gut health. A healthy gut helps you absorb nutrients more effectively, which means the protein you consume is more likely to be used where it's needed in your muscles. In other words, Greek yogurt delivers a double advantage: direct protein for muscle growth and probiotics for better absorption. Consider the case of Mrs. Alvarez, a 70-year-old grandmother who came to me frustrated by her constant fatigue. She explained, "Doctor, I try to eat healthy, but I still feel weak and tired all the time." Her diet included fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, but very little protein. On top of that, she had frequent digestive issues, including constipation and stomach upset. When I suggested incorporating Greek yogurt into her daily routine, one serving at breakfast and sometimes another in the evening, she hesitated. "I thought yogurt was just dessert," she said. After just 6 weeks, the difference was striking. Not only did her energy improve, but her digestion became more regular, and she noticed she could carry her grocery bags with less strain. "It's like my body is finally using what I eat," she told me. The combination of protein and probiotics had begun to strengthen her from the inside out. Here's the mainstream fact. Seniors need about 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to maintain muscle mass, far more than the general adult recommendation. For a 150-pound senior, that's about 8,100 grams daily. Without foods like Greek yogurt, it's nearly impossible to reach that target comfortably. Now here's the deeper, lesser-known truth. Certain probiotics found in yogurt, like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, can reduce gut inflammation and improve nutrient uptake. That means your body doesn't just absorb protein better, but also calcium and vitamin D, both of which are vital for bone strength. This makes Greek yogurt a triple win for seniors' muscles, digestion, and bones. For those who don't like the tangy flavor, Greek yogurt can be mixed with honey, blended into smoothies, or used as a substitute for sour cream in savory dishes. It's versatile, affordable, and widely available, making it one of the easiest additions to a senior-friendly diet. Mrs. Alvarez's experience is a reminder that sometimes the simplest foods make the biggest difference. By choosing Greek yogurt, she wasn't just improving her diet, she was regaining the strength and confidence to keep up with her grandchildren and daily life. And if yogurt's benefits surprise you, wait until you hear about another everyday protein source: lean poultry, that delivers critical amino acids to power your legs, protect your balance, and keep you walking strong. For many seniors, chicken or turkey may not seem extraordinary, it's just dinner. But lean poultry is one of the most reliable and effective protein sources for preserving muscle strength as you age. Unlike red meats, which can be heavy on saturated fats, poultry provides a concentrated dose of high-quality protein without overburdening your heart or arteries. Why is this so important after 60? At this stage of life, your muscles are constantly under threat from sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle tissue. Every year, you may lose 1 to 3% of your muscle mass if you don't take deliberate steps to protect it. Poultry provides the essential amino acids, particularly leucine and lysine, that directly fuel muscle repair. Unlike plant proteins, which sometimes lack certain amino acids, poultry delivers a complete package, making it one of the most efficient foods for seniors striving to maintain strength and independence. Let me share the story of Mr. Daniels, a 74-year-old widower who had recently moved into a senior living community. He came to me frustrated by his declining mobility. "I used to be able to climb 2 flights of stairs without thinking," he admitted. "Now I have to pause halfway just to catch my breath." When we reviewed his diet, I found that most of his protein came from processed foods: crackers, canned soup, and occasional cheese. He avoided meat, assuming it was unhealthy for his heart. I suggested something simple: replace 2 of his processed meals each week with a freshly cooked chicken breast or roasted turkey slices. At first he hesitated, worried that meat would clog his arteries. But with careful preparation, grilling, baking, or boiling instead of frying, he found poultry to be both light and satisfying. Within 3 months, his progress was undeniable. He proudly reported, "Doctor, I can climb those stairs again without stopping." His leg strength had noticeably improved, giving him back a piece of independence he thought was gone forever. Here's the mainstream medical fact: seniors who consume higher amounts of lean protein have significantly lower rates of frailty and disability. Poultry is among the top choices because it provides protein in a form that's easy to chew, digest, and incorporate into a wide variety of meals. Unlike tougher cuts of beef or pork, chicken and turkey can be prepared tenderly, making them accessible even for those with dental issues. Now for the lesser-known truth: poultry is also rich in carnosine, a compound that helps buffer acidity in your muscles. This means less fatigue during activity and faster recovery afterward. For a senior, that could mean finishing a walk without your legs feeling like lead, or being able to stand up from a chair with more ease. The key is preparation. Grilled chicken breast, turkey chili, or even shredded poultry added to a salad can provides steady protein without excess fat. Avoid breaded or fried options, as these add unhealthy oils that can counteract the benefits. Mr. Daniels's transformation shows how everyday foods can create extraordinary results. By reintroducing lean poultry into his meals, he didn't just strengthen his legs, he regained confidence in his ability to move freely. And if poultry sounds powerful, wait until you hear about the next category: humble beans and lentils. These plant-based proteins do more than feed your muscles. They stabilize your blood sugar and protect your long-term energy, making them an indispensable ally in senior health. When people think of protein, they often picture animal sources: meat, fish, or eggs. But some of the most powerful, affordable, and accessible proteins for seniors come from humble plants, beans, and lentils. These foods have nourished civilizations for centuries, and today, science confirms they can help protect aging muscles from the steady creep of decline. Beans and lentils aren't just meat substitutes, they're nutritional powerhouses in their own right. A single cup of cooked lentils, for example, contains around 18 grams of protein, along with iron, folate, and potassium. Black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas each provide similar amounts. What makes them exceptional for seniors is the combination of protein and fiber. The protein supports muscle maintenance, while the fiber slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and improves gut health, all crucial for older adults. Let me introduce Mrs. Chang, a 69-year-old retired seamstress who came to me after noticing she was constantly fatigued and lightheaded in the afternoons. "Doctor," she said, "I eat my rice and vegetables every day, but I still feel weak. What am I doing wrong?" When we reviewed her meals, I noticed they were almost entirely starch-based with very little protein. I suggested a simple change: add half a cup of lentils or beans to her lunch and dinner. Within weeks, Mrs. Chang reported feeling more stable throughout the day. No more mid-afternoon crashes, and more importantly, she noticed she could walk farther without tiring. Her daughter even remarked, "Mom, you look steadier on your feet." What made the difference? The plant proteins and steady energy from beans and lentils gave her body the fuel it had been missing. Here's the mainstream fact: after 60, maintaining steady blood sugar isn't just about preventing diabetes. It's also about protecting your muscles. Spikes and crashes in blood sugar can accelerate muscle breakdown and sap your energy. Beans and lentils release energy slowly, keeping your muscles supplied with steady fuel throughout the day. Now here's a deeper truth most people don't know. Beans and lentils contain compounds called polyphenols, which act as antioxidants. These protect your muscle cells from oxidative stress, the same stress that accelerates aging and weakens muscle fibers. In addition, their magnesium content supports nerve function, which is vital for muscle contraction and coordination. Some seniors worry about bloating or discomfort from beans. The key is preparation. Soaking beans overnight and cooking them thoroughly reduces the compounds that cause gas. Lentils, on the other hand, are easier to digest and cook quickly, making them an excellent starting point for anyone new to plant-based proteins. Mrs. Chang's story is a reminder that strength doesn't always come from the foods we expect. By turning to beans and lentils, she gained energy, steadiness, and confidence. For seniors on a budget, they're one of the most cost-effective ways to nourish the body and fight sarcopenia. If beans can do all that, imagine the impact of a food that has been used for centuries in Asia, not only as a source of protein, but also as a way to slow aging itself. That food is tofu and soy, and its protective power against muscle decline might surprise you. For centuries across Asia, tofu and soy have been staples in daily diets, celebrated not only for their affordability, but also for their unique health benefits. Today, modern science confirms what tradition has long suggested: soy-based foods are powerful allies in protecting aging muscles. For seniors seeking to preserve strength, stability, and independence, tofu and soy products may be some of the smartest choices you can make. Tofu is made from soybeans, a complete plant protein source. This means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. Each serving of tofu delivers 10 to 15 grams of protein, often with far fewer calories and less fat than animal proteins. Soy milk, edamame, and tempeh provide similar benefits. For seniors struggling with reduced appetite or difficulty chewing tougher meats, tofu offers a soft, digestible, and versatile alternative. But the real secret of soy lies in compounds called isoflavones. These plant-based estrogens don't just influence hormone balance, they play a role in slowing down sarcopenia, the age-related muscle decline that threatens mobility. Isoflavones support muscle tissue by reducing oxidative stress and improving circulation. This dual effect keeps muscles both nourished and resilient. Let me tell you about Mr. Nakamura, a 71-year-old retired calligrapher from a Japanese community. He visited me complaining of weakness in his thighs, making it difficult to get up from tatami mats in his home. "I eat rice, vegetables, and fish sometimes," he explained, "but I feel my legs disappearing." When I asked about soy, he admitted he rarely ate tofu, assuming it was too plain to make a difference. I encouraged him to add tofu miso soup at lunch and steamed edamame as an afternoon snack. Within 2 months, he noticed not only improved leg strength, but also fewer aches in his joints. "Doctor, I can stand up without struggling now," he said proudly. His story reflected what studies have shown: seniors who regularly consume soy protein experience slower muscle loss compared to those who avoid it. Here's the mainstream fact: after 60, both men and women lose muscle and bone mass more rapidly due to declining hormone levels. For women, this often accelerates after menopause. For men, gradual testosterone decline plays a role. Soy protein helps offset some of these changes, providing a gentle but effective hormonal balance that protects muscle tissue. Now for the deeper, lesser-known truth: soy protein has been found to improve blood lipid profiles, reducing bad cholesterol while supporting cardiovascular health. Why does this matter for muscles? Because better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscle fibers, directly supporting repair and strength. In other words, tofu doesn't just build, it sustains. For those unfamiliar with soy, it can be introduced in simple, delicious ways. Tofu can be grilled, stir-fried, or blended into smoothies. Soy milk can replace dairy in cereals or coffee. Even roasted soy nuts can be eaten as a crunchy snack. These options make soy accessible to nearly any palate. Mr. Nakamura's regained ability to rise from the floor without struggle was more than a small victory. It symbolized freedom, the freedom to maintain traditions, independence, and dignity, and that freedom came from something as humble as tofu. If soy can deliver results like this, wait until you discover the power packed into nuts and seeds. These small bites not only fuel your muscles but also protect your nerves and cells, making them a surprisingly big player in the fight against muscle decline. When most people think of snacks, they imagine chips, crackers, or cookies. But for seniors who want to keep their muscles strong and their bodies resilient, the best snacks come from nature's smallest packages: nuts and seeds. Don't let their size fool you. These foods deliver concentrated protein, healthy fats, and critical nutrients that protect both your muscles and your nervous system. A single handful of almonds provides around 6 grams of protein plus vitamin E, magnesium, and antioxidants that fight cellular damage. Walnuts contain not only protein but also plant-based omega-3 fatty acids that calm inflammation. Pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas, are especially rich in magnesium, which is essential for muscle contraction, nerve function, and energy production. Together, these nutrients form a protective shield against age-related muscle decline. Let me share the story of Mrs. Reynolds, a 73-year-old grandmother who loved baking cookies for her grandchildren. She confessed, "Doctor, I snack all the time, but I'm always tired." Her usual snacks were sugary and processed, giving her brief energy spikes followed by deep crashes. Her muscles felt weak, and she admitted she sometimes avoided walks with her friends because she didn't trust her balance. I recommended a simple switch: replace her afternoon cookies with a small mix of almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds. At first, she was skeptical. "That doesn't sound like a treat," she joked, but within weeks, she noticed something remarkable. Her energy no longer plummeted mid-afternoon. Her grip strength improved, and she felt steadier during her daily walks. Even her daughter commented, "Mom, you seem stronger lately." Those small bites made a big difference. Here's the mainstream fact: Seniors often consume too many refined carbohydrates and too few nutrient-dense foods. This imbalance accelerates muscle loss by depriving the body of protein and essential minerals. Nuts and seeds are dense in both, offering a way to nourish your muscles without overeating. Now for the deeper truth, nuts and seeds contain arginine, an amino acid that boosts nitric oxide production in your blood vessels. This improves circulation, ensuring your muscles and nerves receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to function properly. Better circulation means faster recovery, less fatigue, and a lower risk of falls. The beauty of nuts and seeds lies in their convenience. They don't require cooking, refrigeration, or preparation. Just a handful can replace unhealthy snacks and deliver a powerful dose of strength. Of course, portion control is important. About a quarter cup per day is enough. More can lead to excess calories. For seniors with dental concerns, seeds like chia or ground flax can be added to yogurt or smoothies, delivering the same benefits without the need to chew. Roasted chickpeas are another excellent option, combining plant protein with crunch. Mrs. Reynolds' renewed energy and steadiness came not from drastic lifestyle changes, but from swapping one snack for another. That's the empowering truth. Even small choices add up to big gains. And if nuts and seeds seem impressive, prepare for something even more powerful. Our next protein source is one of the fastest-acting, most efficient ways to repair muscle after activity, so effective that athletes swear by it, but seniors may benefit even more. I'm talking about whey protein. For decades, whey protein has been associated with athletes, bodybuilders, and fitness enthusiasts. But here's the surprising truth. Seniors may benefit from whey protein even more than young athletes. Why? Because as you age, your muscles lose their responsiveness to ordinary protein intake. This means your body needs higher quality protein, quickly absorbed and rich in essential amino acids, to stimulate muscle repair. Whey protein does exactly that. Whey is a byproduct of milk, and it's considered one of the most complete protein sources available. Just one scoop of whey powder can contain 20-25 grams of protein with an especially high concentration of leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle protein synthesis. Unlike heavier meats that take hours to digest, whey enters the bloodstream rapidly, giving your muscles the fuel they need almost immediately. Let me tell you about Mr. O'Connor, a 70-year-old retired firefighter. Years of physical labor had left him with strong bones but increasingly fragile muscles. He still loved to stay active, going on morning walks and occasionally helping his son with home repairs. But after even moderate activity, he found himself sore for days, unable to recover. "Doctor," he told me, "I feel like my muscles are betraying me. I work and then I pay for it for a whole week." We introduced whey protein into his post-activity routine. Instead of collapsing on the couch after his walks, he blended a simple shake with whey powder, water, and a banana. Within weeks, he noticed a change. His soreness diminished, his recovery time shortened, and he even regained strength in his arms, which had been steadily weakening. "I feel like I can bounce back again," he said proudly. Here's the mainstream fact: after 60, recovery from muscle exertion slows dramatically. Without proper protein intake, microtears in muscle fibers linger longer, leading to weakness and fatigue. Whey's rapid absorption accelerates this repair process, helping seniors regain vitality. Now here's the lesser-known truth. Whey protein contains bioactive peptides that may reduce blood pressure and improve immune function. For seniors, this means that whey isn't just building muscle, it's supporting overall health and resilience. Combined with light exercise, it can be one of the most powerful tools for staving off frailty. Practicality matters, of course. Not every senior wants to drink shakes daily. But whey can be added to oatmeal, mixed into Greek yogurt, or even stirred into soups without altering flavor significantly. For those who are lactose intolerant, many brands now offer whey isolates that remove most of the lactose, making them gentler on the stomach. Mr. O'Connor's renewed recovery and confidence highlight an important lesson. It's not just about the protein you eat, it's about how effectively your body can use it. Whey protein delivers fast, usable fuel, giving seniors the ability to keep moving without fear of being sidelined by soreness. And as powerful as whey protein is, our journey doesn't end here. In the final section, we'll bring all these insights together, uncovering the rules of balanced timing and safe choices that can help you build lasting strength and independence well into your later years. We've now walked through 9 powerful protein sources: eggs, fish, yogurt, poultry, beans, soy nuts, seeds, and whey. And with each, you've seen how even small changes can transform your strength, energy, and independence. But as important as each food is on its own, the real key lies in how you balance them, when you time them, and how you weave them into your life with hope and intention. Let's begin with balance. Seniors often make one of two mistakes. Either they rely too heavily on one protein source, say meat every day, or they avoid protein altogether, thinking lighter meals are healthier. In reality, your body thrives on diversity. By rotating between animal-based proteins like fish, poultry, and eggs, and plant-based options like beans, soy, and nuts, you give your muscles a full spectrum of amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. Balance also prevents food fatigue. When meals feel enjoyable and varied, you're more likely to stick with them for the long term. Timing is equally important. Many seniors eat most of their protein at dinner, leaving breakfast and lunch light and carb-heavy. This creates long stretches where your muscles aren't being fed. To counteract sarcopenia, aim for at least 25-30 grams of protein at each main meal. This steady supply prevents breakdown and keeps you strong throughout the day. A boiled egg breakfast, lentil soup at lunch, and chicken or tofu at dinner. These simple adjustments can add years of mobility to your life. Now let's talk about hope. Muscle loss is not an inevitable one-way street. Yes, aging changes how your body works. Yes, recovery slows, but with knowledge, you can fight back. Every protein-rich bite you take is a statement: I am choosing strength. I am choosing independence. I've watched patients in their 70s, even 80s, regain stability, climb stairs again, and walk proudly without fear simply because they nourished their muscles wisely. For reassurance, let me leave you with 6 safe, muscle-friendly alternatives you can rely on every week. Berries rich in antioxidants protecting your muscle cells from damage. Avocados healthy fats that improve nutrient absorption and joint function. Quinoa, a plant grain that is a complete protein source. Cottage cheese, slow-digesting protein, perfect before bed. Chia seeds, omega-3s and fiber, easy to sprinkle into meals. Lean fish such as salmon or sardines for anti-inflammatory strength. And here are 3 simple rules to live by. Spread protein evenly across your meals. Always pair protein with whole foods, vegetables, whole grains, or healthy fats for better absorption. Never skip protein at breakfast and never go to bed hungry as your body rebuilds during sleep. The path to strength after 60 isn't about building big muscles. It's about preserving the ability to rise from a chair, carry groceries, or hold a grandchild. It's about dignity, safety, and joy. So as we close, remember this: your future is still in your hands. You don't have to accept decline as your destiny. With balanced timing and hope, you can build a body that serves you faithfully for decades to come. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so together we can keep building a stronger, healthier community.